a song. Some of my earliest memories are musical, and in all my years, I've learned that songs are really powerful. I mean, they can make you laugh, they can make you cry, they can make you want to move, and they can transport you back to a specific place and time where you can remember exactly how cool the air was to breathe that day, or what color everything became under the streetlights when they come on at night. It's like an out-of-body experience. It's like coffee. It's magical. But why? So I want to get to the bottom of it. My name's Adam. I'm going to talk to every songwriter I can. And I'm going to find out first what they take in their coffee and then what it takes to make a great song. That's Coffee and a Song. Hey guys, Adam here. Welcome to our very first episode of Coffee and a Song. I'm super excited to do this journey with you guys, diving in and finding out what it takes to make a great song, and especially to showcase the wonderful artists we have here in Northern BC. It's quite remarkable, the talent we have. Full disclaimer, right off the bat, I am not an expert on songwriting. I did not go to school for this. I'm just very passionate about it, and I'm a fan, and I hope you are too, and I hope we can share this journey together as we try and figure out what it takes to make a great song. Anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about my very first guest. So, my guest today has been a fixture in the local music scene for decades. He's a first-class, first-call sideman for any touring artist coming through the area and assembling a band. He's a sought-after session player and a prolific songwriter in his own right. If you've been out to any dance floor for live music in the last 40 years, chances are you've heard him perform somewhere. Whether it was out line dancing to Borderline while he's chicken picking, or maybe you're rocking along while his band Sugarfoot was keeping the soundtrack going, or maybe you caught him playing blues on his slide guitar, or maybe you were in the mood for bluegrass and you caught him with his ensemble, the Copper Mountain String Band. Any way you slice it, Wayne Sheridan is a musical juggernaut, entertaining crowds for decades with his blistering strings and his clever, uplifting songwriting. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome our very first guest to Coffee and a Song, the one, the only, the wonderful, Mr. Wayne Sheridan. Wayne, welcome.
Well, thank you, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the pleasure is all ours. So, first question I have, this is the one that everybody's been texting me and everything about. This is what most people want to know, Wayne.
Yeah.
What do you take in your coffee?
Well, Adam, unfortunately, I don't drink coffee.
Oh, man. That's it. The show's canceled. No. So what's your favorite beverage of choice? Hot beverage of choice?
Exactly what we've got here is some mint tea.
Mint tea?
No caffeine.
No caffeine?
I can't have anything with caffeine in it. So
That keeps the clock very steady when you're playing too, right? Sometimes
I
too
hope
much
so.
caffeine and those songs end too fast.
Yeah.
And then you got the guy yelling at you on stage, your set's not done yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So mint tea's good. It's good for the throat too as a singer, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the coffee can mess you up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the coffee question right off the bat. But I want to dive into the musical part because really that's what I'm interested in. So, how old were you when music came into your life? About what age?
12.
12.
When I started playing trumpet in the high school band.
Right.
And and then I picked up a ukulele. My older brother had a ukulele that I wasn't allowed to play, but he left homes. And once I started to figure out a little bit about music, I picked up the ukulele and I found the book that he had, so I started learning that. And then my younger brother got a guitar for Christmas, I believe, and we used to have such fights over it. When it finally came around to my birthday, my parents got me a guitar as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And was it from the Sears catalog? I know a lot of them were. So.
No, actually, it was from Sight and Sound.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Local music store that we all come to love. It's great to have them. Okay. And do you still play the trumpet?
No, I haven't played in many, many years.
Because that's a skill, right? Like you have to, the mouthing and all that.
Yes, you have to really develop the lip muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ukulele, do you still play the ukulele?
Yes, I do have a ukulele, yeah.
Do you ever write on the ukulele?
I haven't so far, but you never know.
So, being a huge Beatles fan myself, I've just often read, and it's well documented now, that just George Harrison was a huge fan of the ukulele, and later in life especially, really came to write on it a lot. And he would carry around apparently a trunk full of ukuleles
Oh.
And when he'd go to visit his friends, he'd, basically, oh, here, you have a ukulele. Oh. And
I don't have a trunk full of them.
No.
I only have one, but I often take it out kayaking and sit on an isolated beach somewhere and just strum along. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Which is what our great country here has blessed us with up in the north, right?
Yes.
Is that atmosphere. Wow. Okay. What would be some of your early influences musically?
Oh boy, there's just so many. Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, but being exposed to music in the high school band, I've always loved classical music as well.
Right.
So Bob Dylan, huge influence. There's just so many that it's hard to.
It's hard to nail down.
Nail them all.
So would you say that you're kind of a bit of a sponge that way, where you take it all in? It's kind of everything you hear, you kind of influences you?
Well, I think every genre of music has, its value for sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's country or death metal, you
Yeah.
can really appreciate the musicianship that goes into it, or there's always something you can appreciate about it.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. Do you have any formal training? So you mentioned band and school and stuff, but when it comes to the guitar, which I know you most.
I studied classical guitar for a little while, just kind of long enough to realize that I was terrible at it, but it was very good training. It was,
right.
And so I can read music a little, but not fluently, but I can figure things out. And I did take music theory lessons at one point with a piano class, which was really interesting because you're working on, because guitar and trumpet you're only working in the treble clef, whereas piano you've got the bass clef as well. So it was really interesting, and it was really good. And I also attended a music college course in Castlegar many years ago. Did that.
Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit around your songwriting philosophies. So when you first hear a song that you like, what is it that usually catches your ear first? Like, what is it that draws you into a song when you hear it that you like?
Oh boy, that's a great question. Usually there's many different things about a song that will grab a person, right? I'm sure that's
Absolutely.
the way for you,
Yeah.
but to me it's something that's different from all the other songs, whatever that may be.
Could be anything.
It could be anything, it could be the way somebody's playing a guitar in there, or it could be the lyrics.
Different lyric even, yeah?
Yeah, or it's something that, you never thought about, you never heard anybody express things that way before. It could be, somebody's vocal style that's just different,
Right, yeah.
It really strikes you,
Kind of makes you stand up and pay attention at
Exactly.
that point, yeah.
Yeah.
I would, not to go into my own personal experiences, but you mentioned the lyric and the singing style. I remember mid-90s or whenever it was, when Alanis Morissette came out with her big album for her, Jagged Little Pill.
Mm-hmm.
And I had known her previously as just this pop star. She did the kind of the Britney Spears kind of scene where she would sing these pop songs and had a career in Canada that way, just known as Alanis. So when she did this new album, I just thought she was trying to cash in on the grunge era. That's what it like to me. But then when I listened to the writing on the album, before I had the album, but when I listened to some of the songs, what caught me was some of the phrasing and vocal styles that she used, and just some of the words.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time when you're listening to a song, especially if you're interested in songwriting, you'll kind of try and predict what the next line is. Yeah. And with her, she always caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So that
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Helped me gain a new appreciation for Alanis Morissette. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so what do you think makes a great song great then? Just, I know that's another vague question.
That's a very hard one too, boy. Probably those qualities that we just mentioned, and
right.
It can be many different things.
Like herding cats, right? It's kind of hard to nail that one down.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so for you when you're writing, and you're writing a song, how does it generally happen? Is it like a lyrics first thing? Do you have a melody, or is it a guitar part, or a concept? You know, how does that come about for you?
Generally, it's a guitar part. I'm just noodling around with something and accidentally come across some little riff or something and think, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then it just kind of starts my brain working, and I try to just come up with some lyrics. And sometimes the lyrics just come like crazy, and other times, you know, you come up with a verse or half a verse, and it sits for months and months. But yeah, eventually the rest comes. But you know, different songs are different. I've got one song that I woke up in the middle of the night dreaming about the whole song, and thought, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. And when I finally got up in the morning, I was able to write out parts of what I remembered from the dream, and then over a couple of weeks, I was able to kind of recreate the whole song.
That's amazing. So, and was it as you remembered it in the dream? So when you sit down to write
it's close. I think it's close.
Wow.
It's not exact because I could only remember one line off the song when I first woke up, but I still had that feeling about the song. So I was able to come up with that. But yeah, generally it's coming up with a riff or some guitar part, and that just kind of inspires me.
Right. And do you stockpile things like riffs or like maybe vocal lines that you might, I don't know, like do you keep a notebook of lyrics in weight just in case you might find a guitar part, or vice versa? Do you keep...
I keep a notebook of lyrics. Okay. Anytime I start writing a song, I'd write it down in a notebook. So I've got lots of half-finished songs and you know, 2 lines of song kind of thing, you know. But sometimes, you know, you're working on another song and you go over it and you think, oh, I could use those lines in this song. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's good to have that, and I also I play around with a looper a fair bit too, and so if I come up with something, I just save it on the looper and, you know, see what happens.
Keep it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And with your lyrics, when you write out a lyric, maybe one of the songs you were talking about where it just comes to you really fast, do you stick to those lyrics, or are you one of those guys who'll go back and actually rework it or rewrite it?
Oh no, I'll go back over it. But I think the thing is, when you're writing initially, is just to write whatever comes into your head, and whether it makes sense or not, it doesn't matter. You just get it out there. And then later you can go back over it and, you know, change this word, that word, change that line, move things around just to make it all fit together better. But it's really important to be able to just let it go, and no matter how stupid it might sound or whatever.
So you're a scatter sometimes? You do the scat thing where you're trying to find a melody or lyrics or whatever?
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
That's what makes the neighbors think you're crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. They're convinced.
I know. My neighbors are really good neighbors, but I'm sure they think I'm crazy sometimes when I leave the windows open.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I've asked all these questions just bantering back and forth already, so would you say that you're genre specific when you write a song? Like, do you feel like you write more in one particular genre? Or do you even think about genres when you're writing a song? How does that work?
I usually don't think about genres, but to me each song is unique, and you know, there's a lot of songs you can do them in different genres.
Absolutely.
You know, like you can change something from a ballad to a rock song if you want. You can, you could take Led Zeppelin, do it country style, if you really wanted to.
For sure. I think that's one of the things that makes a great song, even, is when you can do that.
When it translates.
And it's still, that's right. Have you done that with your own music? Have you taken something that you originally maybe wrote as a rock song and then done it with the Copper Mountain String Band as a bluegrass record, maybe, or as a...
Yeah, we've done a few of my songs that, you know, I originally wrote them one way, and that's the exciting thing about playing with a group, is because, you know, you bring out a song and sometimes it doesn't work, but other times you know, you play it for a while and everybody kind of fits into their groove, and all of a sudden, you know, the songs come out as something different than you originally imagined.
Right. Yeah.
Which is really cool.
The magic of music, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And generally speaking, do you write on the guitar now mostly, or do you pull it?
Normally, yes, on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I was playing some keyboards too, and that was really good for writing, but I had a problem with my thumb from playing keyboards.
Okay.
So.
So you're able to play a little bit on the piano keyboards?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at it or anything, but I found when I was using the piano, it was great. I'd come up with something on guitar, but then take it over to the keyboard, and it gives you a whole different dimension.
Right. A bit of a different perspective.
Yeah, and especially for writing.
Yeah. I've loved the piano in that, though I can't play it very well at all, when I go up and touch the key, for the most part, it sounds the same as if a really good piano player goes up and touches the key, you know? Whereas guitar, as you would know, and as a guitar player, you know, you hear B.B. King on the radio, you know it's him from one note.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
not everybody can sound like B.B. King,
That's
you know,
right.
or Carlos Santana, you know, these players who have that defined tonality to their touch. So,
yeah.
But that's where my appreciation for the piano usually stops, because I'm horrible at it. So, some songwriters buy into the philosophy that a song really isn't finished until you share it.
Mm.
So do you feel that way, or do you feel like some songs are just meant for yourself, or do you feel like once you've got it to the point where you feel comfortable with the song, do you feel compelled to go out and share it?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Yeah, it is important to share it with people, but yeah, I have songs I've never played in front of anybody. That just, you know, not that there's anything particularly wrong with them, but there's something about them that just doesn't quite connect for me. So
Right.
I don't want to go out and share those with people.
And is it that the song doesn't connect to you, or you feel it won't connect to the people?
I feel it doesn't connect to me, and if it
Fair
doesn't
enough.
connect to me, then yeah, there's no point trying to make it connect with other people. Yeah.
I as a fan of music myself, I feel like I can tell when I'm watching somebody perform a song and they really believe it. They really buy into it. They connect with it. They go to the place that song is written about, or whatever it is. They're in the story. They're living it. And I feel like those make for great performances and great songs.
Yeah.
So I can see that. What kind of advice would you give to someone who's starting right now today? Someone just got their very first ukulele. They've got 4 chords and they want to write a song. What would you say to them?
Go for it. Seriously.
Just do it.
Yeah. Anybody can write a song, really.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
I believe that. Yeah.
And I think it just gets better and more refined the more you do it. Eh? Would you say?
The more you think about it, you know, and you learn little tricks and I went to university when I was younger and majoring in English. But one of the best courses I ever had was a creative writing course, and I wasn't presenting songs there, but just short stories and poetry and things. And we'd all sit around in a big group and discuss everybody's pieces and that. And it was very, very, very helpful. At times, yeah, it's difficult because you've got a whole bunch of people being critical, but you know, most of the time people were not critical in a negative way.
Right.
It was, yeah, very helpful thing to do. So I'd recommend that too.
Yeah, because iron sharpens iron, right? I mean, sometimes, especially when you're writing something that's coming from your heart or your personal experience, there's deep emotions that can be involved in a song. So you present them, you kind of feel a little naked.
Yeah.
But you know, there's still ways to do it without, like you said, being malicious and whatever. And you have to take some of that criticism, even if maybe you don't agree with it or it hurts a little bit or whatever. You kind of have to take that and
think about it.
Yeah. Consider that,
Yeah.
right? That's great. And so the times, they are changing right now. It's strange times in the world. There's no musical gigs anymore for the short term. But what have you been up to musically lately? Like, what have you been?
Oh, gee, just playing guitar at home and playing around with the looper, and yeah.
Any new irons in the fire, songs cooking, or?
No. I actually haven't written a song for a few years now.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a prolific songwriter by any means, and I write a song when the spirit moves me.
That's right. Yeah. So just waiting for that lightning to happen again.
Yeah, that's right. And I know a lot of songwriters, they'll sit down and say, I'm going to write a song, and they'll write a song. And I've done that lots of times, but I'm generally never happy with the results. Right. But the other part of it is that if you're doing that on a regular basis, then you're much more open to the inspiration that just comes out of the air.
Right. Yeah. I would agree with that. Okay, so we're all eagerly waiting for that lightning to strike again, just so you know. So I'm looking forward to hearing whatever the new one is. But you did bring a song with you today to perform, is that right?
I did, yes.
Okay. And what's the song called?
It's called Monkey in a Coconut Tree.
Monkey in a Coconut Tree.
Yeah, and there's no deep meaning to it whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just, I've always been fascinated with songs about tropical islands and things ever since I was a kid.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know, there's songs like Ukulele Lady. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know that song. One. No, I do remember a lot of kind of Hawaiian-themed ukulele songs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'd know the titles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so I was just fooling around one day and just came up with this and started writing it. And it's my offering to the tropical song genre.
Well, I'm excited. Have you ever been to a tropical island?
No, I haven't. No.
So is that in the plans?
Well, maybe.
Or are you scared it's going to kill the muse? You're going to peek behind the curtain. You're going to be like, oh, I don't have any more songs to write now.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to leave it up to you to take us away.
Okay.
Actually, first, I want to ask you a question, though.
Okay.
About this guitar.
Oh.
Can I do that?
You absolutely can.
Because this is not your typical guitar. What kind of guitar is this?
This is a National Resophonic guitar. It's this design was come up with in the mid 1920s.
Wow.
It was before electric guitars came along, and these guitars were meant to be loud. This one is called a tricone resonator, and has 3 little cones in here. And because it has 3 cones, it has a kind of a rich sound because there's 3 cones going at one time. And there's 2 other styles. There's the style spider bridge resonator guitars, which are normally called dobros, that people are most familiar with. And then there's another one called the biscuit bridge resonator, which a lot of blues players used.
Right.
I like the sustain and that of this style, but the other ones have their place too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have electrified this one. I see you did.
I did put a pickup on it. Yeah, just for performances. It just helps get the sound out a little bit better.
No problems with feedback or anything like that with the.
No.
Oh wow, that's great.
Not at all.
And so the idea of the resonators in the guitar, they kind of act like a basic speaker. Right? Is that fair?
They look like little speaker cones.
Yeah.
And and they make these guitars out of different materials. Some of them are made of wood. This one's made of steel. So it's quite a heavy guitar.
So when I play with my band, I usually play a Gibson Les Paul, and that thing is heavy. I cannot imagine doing a show with a guitar made of steel.
Well, here.
Oh man, that's a log. That's got weight to it.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure offers sustain for days.
It's great sustain. They also make them out of brass and that too, which is also heavy. But each material has a different quality to it. The steel has a more an edge to it.
Gotcha.
Compared to the wooden ones and the brass. So.
And you're playing it with a steel slide.
Yes.
So do you notice a difference with steel on steel as maybe steel on glass or?
The glass ones. I've got a number of glass ones, but I prefer the 11/16 deep socket from Canadian Tire.
That's fantastic. You
And
know?
the reason I do that is because it's thicker. It's got more metal at the end than in a glass. The glass ones are just hollow.
That's right. Yeah.
So and I use the tip of this a lot to play.
Nice.
I get a better sustain out of this than I do with the glass ones.
I'm gonna take that under consideration because I'm a horrible slide. I play worse slide than I play piano, but I'm always wanting to. But my thing, I've got these really weird fat fingers that just don't seem to fit in regular slides. So I'm always searching. I never thought about going with sockets because then you can get any size you want.
Well, there's blues players that have used them for years.
Wow.
John Hammond Jr.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Deep socket.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to the song, Wayne. Please take us away. Take us to the tropical islands.
Okay, let's. Down on a tropical island in the sunshine, there's a girl, she's got to be free. She's so fine, from her top to her bottom, she keeps her monkey in a coconut tree. She keeps her monkey in a coconut tree. She's long, she's tall, lives in a grass shack, spends most of her time swimming in the sun, sits in the sun looking out across the water, and she keeps her monkey in a coconut tree. She loves to dance, loves to sing, she loves to do the hula hoochie coo. She's so pretty with her gold nose ring, love everything she do. Sometimes she's happy, sometimes she's sad, sometimes she's lonely just like me. Gonna write a letter, put it into her bottle. Why do you keep that monkey in the coconut tree? Keep that monkey in the coconut tree. One of these days going down to that island, ask that girl, won't you marry me? We could have fun just playing in the sunshine, keeping that monkey in the coconut tree. We'd love to dance, we'd love to sing, we'd love to do the hula hoochie coo. So pretty with her gold nose ring, love everything she do. There is a girl who lives on an island way down south in a tropical sun. She's so fine, from the top to her bottom. She keeps her monkey in a coconut tree. Keeps her monkey in a coconut tree. Keeps her monkey in a coconut tree.
Wow. I don't know what's laughing, but I'm the only one here. That's why I'm the only one clapping. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It makes me want to go to a tropical island. I was watching you. Of course, I'm a guitar player as well, so I'm watching everything you're doing, playing guitar, just mesmerized. But you're painting a picture the whole time in the back of that song. That's what
Trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you would say, you know, you like to do the hula
hoochie coo,
and then the little slide up. Like, I mean, that was fantastic. I love that when a song paints a picture. That was really great. So, one thing I'm going to get you to do, Wayne, before this was my son Oscar's idea. We've got an extra cup back here. I'm going to get you to sign this. This is going to be our Coffee and a Song Coffee Cup Hall of Fame. I'm going to get everybody to sign it as they come. So you mind signing that for me?
Not at all, yeah.
And so, for Wayne, you can get some of his music right now if you want it. It's available on iTunes under the Copper Mountain String Band. Wayne and some good friends of ours in that band, and they are fantastic. They put on a great show, great players, great music, and awesome. Look at that. Go check that out on iTunes right now. And Wayne, I mean, I can't thank you enough for coming. We would definitely, I know, love to have you back already.
Well,
so
thank
I
you,
hope you
Adam.
come and do this again. Next time we'll be able to announce your gigs as they're coming up. But keep your eye out for Wayne. I appreciate that very much.
Well, I appreciate the interview, and thank you.
Cheers, brother. All right, guys. That's it for our very first episode of Coffee and a Song. I want you to go and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's under Jackshot Records. Like the Facebook page, again, Jackshot Records. Share it with your friends. Hit the bell notifications on YouTube, whatever you got to do so you can be notified when the next episode is coming out. This has been such a great time for me, a great honor to sit here with Wayne. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And tune in for the next episode. We're going to have lots of good artists coming up. I don't want to spoil the fun yet, but tune in, Coffee and a Song. Till then, see you soon.